Now, governors on the platform of the opposition People's Democratic Party have called for a National Executive Committee meeting on March 13, 2025, after their first meeting of 2025 in Asaba. The 7-point resolution, led by PDP Governors Forum Chairman Bala Mohammed, urged the National Working Committee to ensure a smooth meeting. Well, they also expressed support for the Court of Appeal's ruling on the National Secretary position and called for its swift implementation. The governors also raised concerns over national security and the resurgence of non-state actors advocating for stronger security measures. Attendees included governors from various PDP-controlled states. Well, joining us now to discuss the outcome of the PDP Governors Forum meeting in Asaba last week and likely impact on the festering crisis in the party is Captain Tunji Shelle, former Lagos PDP chairman. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you to continue to unpack what unfolds in a new direction and in a new shape and form almost on a daily basis within the PDP. What are some of your takeaways, or what's your position on the takeaways from the meeting of the just recently concluded PDP Governors Forum? Because I understand some members of the NEC are disputing the outcome. I'll bring out the name for you, but some members of NEC are saying that this will only cause further problems. Your take, was the right thing, were the right resolutions arrived at the Governors Forum?
First and foremost, I must confess that there is need for a critical appraisal of the political situation in the country. And a viable opposition is the only one that can help us achieve this, so that democracy can thrive and the country will be in the right direction towards development. I'm very excited by the meetings of the Governors Forum. Before that meeting, the BOT had held their own meeting, and they took far-reaching decisions too, which will help in shaping the course of events in the party. We know the troublemakers in the party, but the Governors Forum and the BOT were being cautious and careful not to exaggerate the situation or worsen the situation. But the last two meetings are very, very crucial and helpful in reshaping the course of action in the party. And I'm sure we will get there.
Okay, it's good to hear. Hopefully that will be the case. We had Kola Olubode on sometime last week on Newsday, and one of the things that he mentioned that's fundamentally important is that according to him, he says PDP never acts in line, or is not acting in line with its own constitution. It makes its own laws and breaks them, and he's identified that as the core issue. From your own assessment, is that the main cause of the issues that we're seeing in the PDP?
First and foremost, I must confess that PDP has been infiltrated by internal and external forces. External forces using internal stakeholders to set back the party. And I am sure this one will be addressed as soon as possible. The players, the stakeholders who are making efforts to set the party back and being identified, I may be forced to mention names sooner or later. We don't have an effective and focused National Working Committee. They are divided. Somebody is sponsoring a particular group against the others, and in the event, the party is the loser at the end of the day. If I have to be specific, acting national chairman could have done better by doing his job as the national chairman, holding meetings regularly, and then carrying everybody along, instead of listening to somebody who is ready to destroy the party. When somebody mentioned that some people are being funded and compromise, the situation looks, that's the real situation on ground. Some people are being compromised to destroy and stifle the party so that there'll be one party system. And that one is not going to help the country. That's the meeting of the governors and the BOT came out at the right time to arrest this situation. The secretary, who went to contest an election in Imo State, ought to have resigned. And I believe he resigned. And then after losing in the election, he came back. He wanted the seat back. But another person had been chosen from that same zone to be the acting secretary or substantive secretary. So that one has been resolved now as far as the Governors Forum is concerned. And I'm sure it will help the party to go full throttle to reconciliation.
All right. The NEC member I was referring to was Honourable Umar Abdullahi, who says that he felt that this meeting would exacerbate issues. But let's speak to this allegation. So if there are people within the party who have been compromised, who are receiving financial inducement or something of the sort, what action is the party going to take against these people?
It's a question of time. And I'm sure this last meeting, I will always refer to it, will be a very strong determinant factor in taking necessary action against the provocateur. Those people who want to hand over the party to APC. I think that's what they want to do. I will help you in certain elections, you help in some other election. I think that's the game they are trying to play. And it's an anti-party thing. They will be told at the appropriate time. Maybe by the time they hold the NEC meeting on the 13th of February, everything will be resolved.
I want to go off of that point, Captain. You said it's a matter of time. Is it possible that too much time if this is not addressed in a timely fashion, like sooner rather than later, it could end up costing the party a lot more down the line. When we look at, for instance, what happened with Wike in the elections and now how that went on for as long as it did, we saw what the outcome was. So is it possible that the party is repeating history without being aware of it?
Well, you've mentioned the Federal Capital Territory Minister. Being in APC government is not part of our constitution. So I regard it as an anti-party thing. I don't know who cleared him to have taken the position. But if he took the position, he should honorably excuse himself and leave the party to go and be in APC so that PDP can focus on how to manage its own affairs. But unfortunately, it remains behind. And what they are banking on is the judiciary support that they can get support from. They can easily get support from the judiciary. And that's why the party itself, the stakeholders, the major stakeholders are withholding actions not to create unnecessary crisis that will further deepen the already worsening situation. Definitely, like I say, it's a question of time. After the NEC meeting, which will be all-embracing, all people who belong to that party should participate. The leaders who belong to the party should be able to participate at that meeting. And truth will be told to every stakeholder.
Okay, because some are now saying that the PDP is starting to seem like a bit of a toothless bulldog because you have an issue with the minister of the FCT, and I hear you say he should honourably step aside. He's not doing that. However, the party constitution should be able to take some form of action, of discipline. Now, we have people who we say are compromised by the opposition. They are receiving financial inducement and so forth. Fine, we're waiting for your statement, but it seems the party is folding its hands yet again and waiting for them to somehow miraculously do the honorable thing. Why is the PDP so powerless within its own internal party structure?
like I said, we have a chairman, acting chairman, that is not doing his duties as he's supposed to. That's why a lot of things are happening, and the leadership, the stakeholders, the BOT and the Governors Forum couldn't do much because they are being careful about what implication it has with the judiciary. So after the next meeting, which they are compelled to hold now, the chairman and the acting secretary, we have another secretary now that is being accepted and by the party as the secretary. Definitely, by the time they hold that meeting on the 13th of March, far-reaching decisions or who will be expelled on disciplinary grounds will be tabled, and the party will from there move forward.
Okay, let's see.
We still have time.
That's how it appears.
That's why they took their time to ensure that that meeting of 13 is sacrosanct.
Well, we'll see how things play out come the 13th. But how can the PDP rebuild trust with its grassroots supporters at this point?
Well, it's very easy because PDP is a very big party. Even in Lagos, we have crisis. But I think we are now coming together as one. Reconciliation is going on side by side with the disciplinary action that will follow. So, similarly, the situation at the national level will be resolved by disciplining those people who are liable or who should be disciplined, and the party will go to the grassroots and start mobilizing all over again. The governors are in position to effect that. They have the means, they have the resources, and they have the powers to support the party to move ahead.
Okay, Captain, last week we saw some very embarrassing and disgraceful behavior from these men who are supposed to be in line to govern Nigeria, and that behavior was so unfortunate. What's your assessment of how this issue concerning the national secretary position has been handled? Do you think PDP has managed it well so far?
Well, it could be embarrassing, and I feel bad about the situation. Anybody will feel like that. But it has helped to resolve the issue. The young man came out boldly to say it's my seat because
that's Anyanwu.
Anyanwu was sitting inside while he was outside. He ensured that he gained access to the venue of the meeting. And that's why the meetings of the Governors Forum was even quickly arranged so that the issue could be resolved. And Ude is now accepted as the national secretary.
But Anyanwu has not accepted.
There is a court judgment. The lower court, the appeal court, and we are waiting for the Supreme Court to finally decide. But as of today, Ude is the secretary of the party. And, the fear of the judiciary is the beginning of wisdom. That's why we are slow in taking action. Ude is being given the go-ahead by the court to be the secretary, and Anyanwu is supposed to lay back and find something else to do. If he really loves the party, I expect him to respect the judgment of the court of law. But they have a means of going back to the judiciary, getting injunction and restraining order, which is unfortunate. And that one can slow down whatever PDP is actually out to achieve. But now, necessary steps have been taken. 12 governors have come together to say we have to put a stop to these anomalies, and it will be done.
Captain, I know you're very optimistic, looking forward to the 13th, like you rightly outlined, hoping things will be resolved. But in the event that the 13th comes and things don't play out the way you anticipate, what would you advise to be the next course of action?
There are other approaches behind the scene that is ongoing.
Okay.
You have possible coalition or alignment. If APC will want to frustrate the PDP will frustrate the APC by going to an alignment and coalition with other opposition parties. It's going to work out. But PDP is the strongest so far. Even PDP is supposed to be stronger. You know that the president won in 12 states for himself. Obi won in 12 states, and Atiku won in 12 states. It's only the manipulations that gave the APC an edge during the last election. So we are very hopeful. Come the next election, PDP and other interested parties will have come together, seeing the situation on ground where everything is rough. People are hungry, people are not happy, electricity bill has gone up, even telecoms tariff has gone up, everything is high, inflation everywhere. The central bank, they are only coming out with figures that doesn't tally with what's going on in the country. You can imagine they said people can go to the ATM machine and withdraw money. How many people have been able to withdraw money? And they were telling us they will sanction the banks. Have they sanctioned any banks so far? Everybody has to go to it. POS too. It's very untidy.
As we round up very quickly, sir,
Yeah.
I know you are counting the 12 states that PDP got in the last election, but there's a lot of talk around some of these governors, actually, some of these governors who were seated at that meeting, potentially crossing the floor. Are you confident that you'll step into the 2027 election with all of your governors intact? Might you lose a few along the way, as we saw prior to the last election? We saw guys like Ben Ayade crossing the floor and so forth. Do you think you'll make it to 2027?
No, this time around, the governors have learned their lessons, and I think some of them want to go for second term. They know what the APC government can do. Winner takes all. That's what they want to do. They want to turn Nigeria into one-party state. They've realized it now. And those people that you are talking about that are likely, I saw their body language too, but they know that...
Okay, you've seen the body language.
I saw the body language. But
so it's possible they might.
It's through this same Wike of a man working with APC. Because they are forced, I believe some of them, I don't have evidence, are forced to go and, my brother Wike, we are together now, you will start giving them conditions. So they have to be careful. But now that they are confident what they are doing is right, they are in PDP, and PDP will remain a strong party. And with the possible coalition and alignment, sky is the limit.
Okay, well, let's see how things play out, especially before the elections, February 13th. Captain Tunji Shelle, former Lagos State PDP chairman, would like to thank you for joining us here on Newsday, and we wish you and PDP all the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.